And we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flipping Hippo. I am one half of a two-person team. We are resellers that sell... oops, amateur mistake there. I wasn't muted. Keith and I sell primarily on eBay and Poshmark, but we also delve into Bonanza, a little bit of Mercari, Amazon, and local sales. And I'm very excited tonight to introduce my guest to you. I'm sure that most of you know her. She and I are in all the same reselling groups, and she's very active in the community. I'm sure that most of you know her, but if you've never met her and tonight's your first time meeting her, you are absolutely going to be blessed to have her in your life, and then you need to go join her Facebook group. Say hi, Donatella.
Hi, guys.
So she started this as a hobby, right?
I'm sorry?
Last year when you started doing eBay, it was just like a hobby, right?
When I started, oh, there's a big delay. Yeah. So sorry. How do I stop that?
There's just a delay. So if you want to put your Hangouts in the front so that you don't see the YouTube.
And you keep going out. I can't hear anything that you're saying right now.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Okay. So what I usually do is I block the YouTube video with the Hangouts so that I can see the chat, but I see real time between you and I and not the delay.
Okay, should I block the chat?
Not the chat, just the video. Jason's here. Hi, Jason. Hi, Sydney. Dottie, smart and savvy gal, Virginia. If I missed you, I will get around to saying hello to everybody. I'm having a hard time saying I actually have mascara flakes in my eyes tonight. What a wonderful time to get them. Yeah, so that's a good idea, Jason. Thank you. Donatella, you can pop the chat out so you're not looking at the delay.
Let's see.
There's 3 dots at the top. On the right top.
Okay.
Yeah, I never even thought of that. I just block the video because the delay can throw you off. Like it's not real time what they're looking at. Hey, Dan, welcome in.
I'm not even going to bother with the chat. I can't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out the other night either. So if I don't have the chat on, there's no delay. But anyways, it's okay. It's fine. Hi, everybody.
Okay. So, she did start it as a hobby, and she has definitely grown into a full-time business. She's a lady boss. I would call you a lady boss.
Thank you.
Extraordinaire. She bought once a whole lot of monkeys.
Yes.
And you will forever be known. Like, people associate hippos with me. I think we all associate monkeys with you because of those monkeys you got.
It was crazy. 400 monkeys.
400 monkeys. And what did you
400 monkeys. And they were from like 1960 to the most recent.
And what did you pay for them?
$90.
Wow. So she got...
And the most I got for one, I think, was $140 for one monkey.
For one monkey.
Yeah.
So,
but you know, Star, just I wanted to tell you the reason why I started reselling on eBay was I owned a small thrift shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to help families with children that were battling cancer, and I started selling on YouTube. I keep saying YouTube. I started selling on eBay to help support the store because the store was failing. There was no lack of donations coming in. It was just lack of customers. It was so hard to maintain the operating expenses. So my friends would come in, my reseller friends that sold on eBay would come in and say, oh, Donna, you need to post this on eBay because you've got it marked $3 and you can sell this on eBay for $25. So I started posting things on eBay, and before I knew it, my eBay store was supporting my retail store, my charity store.
Mm-hmm.
So then it got to the point where the charity store was just too much. It was the operating expenses were just too great. It's really, really hard to run a brick and mortar store. I did it for 5 years.
Wow.
I did it for 5 years. So I closed the store and started selling full-time eBay a year ago, February.
Okay, so you've kind of already answered the first question, which is to tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been reselling, how you got started, and if you're full-time. I feel like you just already answered that.
Yeah, I am full-time. I'm more than full-time. I'm 24/7, 7 days a week. I work in the middle of the night. I'm on eBay constant. If my phone goes off in the middle of the night with an offer, I wake up and I respond to the offer because I feel like my store is still in the infancy stage, even though it's a year and a half old. It's still growing. So I'm not at the point now where I feel comfortable turning off my notifications and waiting to reply to an offer until Monday morning or the next day. I ship every single day. I think I have 1 day shipping on my store. So I ship every single day.
You're like the female version of Jamie Pace.
Oh, is he the same way?
He's constantly going and working and
Constantly.
and that's just how some people. I'm sorry, my nose is really red. I'm having allergy issues. I have allergy issues, mascara flakes in my eyes, and a headache.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
We'll delve through this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, some people, I always say that too. Some people thrive on chaos. Some people need order. You just have to find out how you work best. What kind of environment you need and how you work. Do you need clutter? Do you need neatness? Because everyone's personality needs a different environment to thrive in.
I thrive in chaos.
I do too.
Absolute chaos.
I have forever to do something, I'm not going to do it. But if a deadline's coming up, I'll do it, and I'll do it really well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't make lists, but what I do though is I really try to tackle what's directly in front of me and try to just take care of that and then just move on to the next challenge. I mean, it's all challenging to me, all challenging because I'm a mom. I run a household. I call myself the CEO of the Botolino family. I'm an entertainment director. I'm a travel agent. I'm that mom. I'm constantly just on the go. And I have a part-time job too. It's very part-time, but I also work part-time outside of the house. I'm a community liaison for traveling nurses that come to the United States from different countries, and I help them get settled into the United States. I take them to the Social Security Administration. I take them for their driver's license. I take them shopping for furniture. I take them to find apartments. Like, just imagine moving to a new country and not knowing a single person. I'm the only person they know, and I get them completely set up in their brand new communities, and they're all specialized nurses. Yeah, it's neat. It's very rewarding.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, I love it. I do that as well as my eBay.
I'm going to say hello to a couple people who popped in.
Thank you. Please do, because I don't see the chat.
Susie's here. Dab Kitty Sparkle. Holly's here. Elizabeth. And I already said hello to Dan. We're going to move to question number 2. Okay. Which platforms do you sell on? And if you sell on more than one, which one is your favorite and why?
Okay, so currently I'm selling only on eBay. I've tried Poshmark. It's just, to me, it's just takes too much time. I can't do the sharing. I tried to get my kids to help me do the sharing. I still have my Poshmark store. My daughter thinks that she is thinking about taking it over, which I'm happy. I do have a lot of followers on it. I still have maybe 15 items posted on there, but I don't get any sales. I don't do any sharing. I don't do any new posting on it. It just, to me, the types of things that I get, clothing is not my number one favorite thing to sell. So the types of things that I get are more eBay type items. I sell on the local Facebook marketplace, and I say that with rolling my eyes because I can't not stand people in the Facebook marketplace. Is it available? I'm interested. Is it available? I mean, that's all I get.
Yeah.
I don't do Macari. I have an account with Macari. I have an account with Etsy. I have accounts set up with all of the reselling platforms, but the only one I sell on is eBay, and then, like I said, the Facebook Marketplace for the furniture that, you know, I get, like the big bulky stuff that I get.
And you do some auctions.
Oh yeah, I just started doing some, I did a Facebook auction that went pretty well. And then the other night I did, I did an auction with NASCAR Man because of the NASCAR stuff. Actually, it wasn't an auction. It was like just a selling platform. He just gave me the value of items that I had, and people were able to buy them right off of YouTube.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I popped in for a little while.
Yeah, I want to start doing more of that. I want to start, you know, I know how you buy a lot of those jean boxes, and I still have hundreds and hundreds of pairs of those jeans, but they're all vintage. They're not new ones. And
lock them up into reseller boxes on Poshmark too.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about, I mean, I could, but I'm thinking about doing it directly to, like, as my station starts to grow, I was thinking about doing it directly to my viewers and just offering them for sale for people that don't like to go outsourcing or don't like to, you know, go thrifting. So yeah, that's another possibility that I'm thinking about doing.
Yeah, well, I'll be there because, you know, jeans are like my favorite thing.
I know. But these are vintage. But you saw how much I got for that acid washed jacket. Do you remember me posting about that?
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be 100 pairs of acid washed jeans in that bundle of jeans that I have.
And probably that's like mom jeans too, which are coming back in style.
The what?
The mom jeans, the high waist.
There's so many pairs of mom jeans. Oh, there goes one of my kitties.
I know you can't see your chat, so I let you know that Hip Flippin' Mama Kelly says hi. And
hi, Kelly.
All right, question number 3. What item or category do you sell the most of?
Gosh, you know, I almost want to say clothing. It's not my favorite, but I do sell a lot of clothing. Vintage items are definitely my favorite to sell, but I'm probably going to have to say clothing.
So the next question is, what is your favorite and what's your least favorite?
So my absolute favorite is vintage perfume. And when I say that, I don't mean like the fancy, you know, bottles with the little squirty thing. I'm talking about vintage department store perfume, things like Chanel and anything that you would have found in a department store like in the 40s or 50s. Even if the perfume is rancid and looks yellow, even if the bottle is completely empty, it has a huge following and people love vintage perfume. I also love to sell vintage scarves, and I love to sell vintage evening bags. So those are my 3 favorite things: perfume, evening bags, and scarves. Those are my favorite 3 items to source and sell.
And your least favorite?
Clothes. I'm going to let my kitty out.
Your cat is so cute. He's back there like, excuse me. Please come let me outside. We're going to wait for her to let her cat out. And I'm going to glance over at the chat. Brooke says she loves Donatella's story. She had her in tears. Yeah, I agree. Did I miss any chat while we were talking? This woman has been a lifesaver for me. That's awesome.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know. They just love you. Like, that's great.
That's so nice.
All right, number 5. What is your favorite place to source?
My storage units.
I knew you were going to say that.
I have not gone sourcing since I started buying storage units again. So Star, I bought my first storage unit 19 years ago, like way before Storage Wars, way before, you know, it was even a popular thing. It was up in Boston. And I remember I had my son who was an infant, and I was pregnant with my son Denali, and I went to the storage unit, and there was only like 3 people there. It was in the winter time, and it was Nobody bid on it, and the auctioneer started bidding at like $25. The entire unit was filled with plumbing supplies. Plumbing supplies, elbows and tubes and everything that had to do with plumbing supplies. And so nobody was bidding on it. So it was closing, and I raised my hand and I said, I'll give you $25 for it. And I called up my husband's friend, Tony, he's a plumbing contractor, owns his own business. He had just started his business, and he's very successful to this day. And I called him up and I said, Tony, I have a gift for you. And he's like, yeah. He's like, what is it, Donatella? And I gave him the address and I said, you need to come and see what I got for you. And I met him there, and I opened up the thing and I said, this is all for you. And I gave it to him as a gift. And he said to me years ago, he was like, so that was 19 years ago. And like 10 years ago, he's like, I haven't needed to buy a plumbing elbow in 10 years. It was jam packed. It was like a 10 by 20, it was somebody's plumbing business, and they defaulted on it, and it went to auction, and I bought it.
That's cool. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Number 6, what is your favorite task or job, part, whatever word you want to use, of reselling?
My favorite task is, let's see, it's not prepping the clothes. It's not photographing the clothes. It's not listing the clothes. Probably wrapping them and preparing them for shipping. That's probably my favorite thing to do, is to wrap them up in tissue, put a little sticker on them, put them in a clear bag, then put them in, the eBay bag, or I've gotten really creative with my my breakable stuff and how I pack them with foam and wrap them. And so, yeah, so probably packing.
And what's your least favorite?
Prepping the clothes. I won't do it anymore. My steamer broke a while back. If you remember, I asked you in one of your live chats the name of your steamer because I was going to buy a new one. I don't even steam the wrinkles out of it. My friends are like, how the heck did you just get $50 for that men's shirt with wrinkles all over it? And I take pictures of clothes with wrinkles and they sell. I mean, I just started noticing that it's like, that's what works for me. I'm not saying that this is going to work for everybody, but I take pictures of wrinkled clothes and they still sell for me.
Oh, so
I don't know if it's my background that I use, or I don't know what it is, but they sell. So it's my least favorite thing to do, so I don't do it anymore.
We steam anything we can't wash, dry clean, new tags.
Yeah.
I only steam them to ensure that they're sanitized and we're not bringing anything into our home.
Yeah.
But Keith's shirts he does all the men's clothes, and they're always wrinkled. And good enough is good enough. It has to be. We do a lot of volume too. We have a lot of volume. So we don't
sell them wrinkled?
We don't even measure them anymore.
He doesn't steam them anymore?
Doesn't steam them, doesn't measure them, not the men's clothes.
Well, I don't put any measurements in my description. All I do is my last 3 pictures of each one of my listings, my last 3 to 4 pictures, I have just a seamstress measuring tape. And I do armpit to armpit. And I just take a picture of it. And I use a very generic description in all of my listings that I copy and paste into all my listings. And I don't talk about the item. Like I look at some people and they write paragraphs about the item and the measurements on the item. I don't do any of that. I just take pictures of the item with the measuring tape on it, and that's it. And I call it a day and I'm done.
Yeah, I measure all of our jeans only because jeans are really hard for women to find a good fit. And I don't want a lot of returns on them because most of them are over a pound. But first class items, we don't even measure anymore. And I use a template for everything. And it literally says what the item is.
Yeah.
From a smoke and pet free home. We ship same day. We offer global shipping. And that's it.
Yep. So with my jeans, what I do is I take a picture of, I turn it around to the butt side and I put the measuring tape and I measure the waist. And then I fold them in half and I take a picture of the inseam from the crotch down to the very bottom. And then the third picture is I take a picture of the thickness, however you want to call it, of the actual leg down by, like, because I don't mention if it's flare or straight legged or anything like that. I just take a picture of the actual pant leg, like 3 inches or 4 inches above the hem of the jeans. That's it. That's all I do.
Well, I do mention because I feel like those are things people are looking for. But like you said, different things are going to work for different people. But I also know jeans well enough. You could hold a pair up and I could tell you if it's flare or boot cut or straight or mom. They're my what's the word I'm looking for? It's a sports metaphor. My wheelhouse. They're my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to check the chat real quick. Sydney says she wants to buy storage units, but she doesn't have a truck. I want to buy storage units, but everyone around us in the auctions, every
It's
single
so much
one has a
work.
pea-stained mattress in it, and I don't want it. No, we don't have any good around us. When you look up the auctions around us, every single one, you can see a pea-stained mattress that probably has bed bugs.
Star, did you see the pictures of the last one that I bought? I literally bid on 2 dirty mattresses, a dirty hamper of white towels, an old microwave oven, and a coffee pot. That's all I saw. That's all I saw in the picture. And one person was bidding against me, and I won it for, I think it was $160. And I had to bring 2 tons of debris to the dump yard. 2 tons of debris.
That's the other issue. We also don't have a truck. Keith also still works outside of the house during the week, and I can't lift over 5 pounds.
Yeah, my girlfriend Dolores, who helps me with my storage units, I mean, we literally worked 5 days. One day I got heat stroke. I thought I was almost had her bring me to the hospital. It was so hot and it was awful. It's really hard work. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like man's work. It really, really is. Like I work my butt off to get, the things that I got like out of that unit. And,
oh, I bet. Yeah. I mean, until Keith is home, I mean, I don't even know what we're going to do then because we don't really have a lot of family or friends here. And he would have to do it on his own. Imagine if you didn't have Dolores. Because I can't lift anything over 5 pounds. I can't bend over for more than 3 seconds without being in so much pain I have to stop.
Yeah, you could never do it, Star. My back kills me after I'm done with the storage unit. And I have the help of, sometimes my husband, always my son. He helps me a lot with the heavy stuff. My 2 daughters that are 6 feet tall, they come and, they'll help with the stuff. Dolores, who is like a workout guru, she's a little peanut. She's probably 95 pounds soaking wet with marbles in her pockets, and she's stronger than I am because she works out like crazy.
Yeah. See, I heard just from sitting here during an interview, I'm worthless. I can't do storage units because I'm not worthless. There's still plenty of things I can do.
That's okay. I'll do the storage units, and then I'll sell you all the mom acid washed jeans.
Cool. But no, that's what I try to tell people. Like, even if you're disabled, this is a job you can do. You just have to figure out what you can do and your own limits and do what you can do. And do it really well, because if there's a lot that you can't do and only limited things that you can do them really well. Be the best at it.
Yeah.
All right, number 7, share a bolo. And if y'all don't know, bolos, be on the lookout for something we should all be seeking to find when we are outsourcing.
Well, since I just got payment on a $95 Ozzy Osbourne concert vintage t-shirt just now, like I literally just got payment on it, I would say a really great bolo is concert t-shirts.
Absolutely, especially vintage.
Yes, especially vintage. And yeah, that's a great bolo to look for.
Yeah, she sold a $95 Ozzy Osbourne t-shirt, guys.
Yeah.
So awesome. Sydney asked me where my eyeshadow came from. If you're talking about the silver, that is actually an eyeliner. It's Hard Candy. It's a Gennaro brand from Walmart. It's called Handcuffs. The actual eyeshadows, there's 3 different ones that were sample sizes, either from Ipsy or Birchbox. I don't remember which because I just kind of take all the stuff out and mix it up in my makeup bag. But there's a glittery brown one and a dark one, and then the white is actually not an eyeshadow, it's a highlighter. So there you go. I have a hodgepodge. I just grab, you know, when the Ipsy and the Birchbox comes in, what I like, what I'll use goes in my makeup, and then what I don't, I photograph and list on Poshmark and eBay. And then anything I have to buy at the store, I buy generic brand. I'm not picky. As long as it's makeup and it's on my face, I'm good. Hey,
That's
Jamie,
right.
welcome in. Thanks for joining us. And the reason I do the subscription boxes is because each one's $10 and you get enough products out of there that you're going to use. And then you sell the little ones you don't like. You can sell them for like $9 or $10 a piece. And so you're almost paying for your box and your stuff you kept. You know what I mean? I love it. All right. So can you tell us a no-low?
Oh, a no-low would be, I can't even say Beanie Babies because first generation Beanie Babies, I've sold for $50 and $60. First generation, their tags are really different looking. So probably VHS tapes. I mean, I
But
have
even then, certain horror movies go for a lot of money.
Yeah, I have some like WWC VHS tapes, and I have some I do have some sealed Disney VHS tapes, and believe it or not, I have sold them only for like $6, but I have sold them.
Yeah. Oh, if you guys don't know what a no-low is, it's the opposite of a bolo. It's a no-low. Don't get it. Okay, so number 9, and I say this every week with each guest. This is my absolute favorite question to ask. It goes along with the old adage, you know, your parents used to tell you, or you tell your kids, do as I say, not as I do. Is there something you do that we shouldn't be doing, or is there something you don't do that we should be doing as far as retailing?
Well, I think something that I do that I don't think I would recommend and that you shouldn't be doing is listing items one by one on the phone. It's what works for me. I don't create drafts. I don't take a whole bunch of pictures and then upload them to the computer. I pick up my phone. I look up the item. I press sell similar. I take the photographs. I adjust the shipping. I put in my description. I hit list item and I move on to the next. And a lot of people say don't do it that way, but that's the way I do it. And I'm not saying that you guys should do it. So I don't know. Does that answer the first part of the question?
Yeah, that answers the question. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. That I know that I'm doing it wrong because everybody in the reselling community tells me I'm doing it wrong and tells me that I can list so many more. On my really good listing days, like when I start at like 6:30 in the morning and I work until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I can get a good 40 items listed. Pictured, measured, and listed.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it works for me.
But it's again, you got to do what works for you. I take pictures in batches, and I'll have like 300, 400, 500 pictures on my computer.
Yeah.
And I list from there. And then if I ever have a day where I can't take pictures or my back is really bad, I have pictures saved up. I would never recommend anyone else do that because then there's days where all I do is take pictures and I'm not listing. And then I get in the habit of, I have all these extra pictures and I just list, and I'm not taking any more pictures and my death piles are building up. Yeah. But it's a system that works for me and my back. And I think we all kind of just do what works for us, whether
exactly
it's something somebody else should be doing or not, because again, everyone works differently.
Yep.
But I love to ask that question because I feel like we all all of us, all resellers everywhere, even those that aren't YouTubers. I feel like we all give advice all the time and try to be helpful to other resellers while we're secretly doing the things we say you shouldn't.
I know. See, I would never advise anybody to do it the way I do it because everybody else says that it's wrong. But, you know, like I said, I take the picture, I put my inventory number in the description, which is another big like no that you shouldn't do. I put it right in the description, so when it sells, I don't have to open up the sold. I see it because I pull my inventory. I take my phone into my inventory room, and I can see men's Levi's jeans N12. I go into bucket N. I pull number 12, you know, and that's it. So when I'm listing, I put N12 in the title, and then I've got my N12 bag right there. It slips into the bag, and I have reusable bags that I use, and then I reuse those bags over and over and over again, and it just gets put into the inventory. But like I said, that works for me, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, only because I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Because everybody else says that that's not the way to do it. But
Okay, last serious question.
yes.
The best piece of advice that you can give to other resellers, whether they're brand new or been at it for a long time.
So if they're brand new, the best piece of advice I can give you is to implement a inventory system from the very first item. Watch YouTube videos. There's many of them out there. Find a system that works for you and just implement that system like from the word go. Because if you have like 20 or 30 and you start slipping back, I mean, I didn't do that. I was just like throwing things in bins and, you know, no big deal. And then I got to 100 listings, 200 listings, 300 listings. I think it wasn't until I was like at 600 listings that I finally implemented an inventory system. And man, I'll tell you what, it took me days to get that system in place. And so now it's, you know, it's really great. My vintage stuff, I still don't have like a good inventory system for those because a lot of them are breakables. I have a lot of glassware and like the perfume bottles. So those have to kind of just be stacked, and I try to keep them categorized, you know, and I have a huge floor to ceiling bookcase, and each shelf is kind of has a designated, you know, what it is type of thing.
Well, that's still a system. So that's still a system.
Yeah.
It's being organized. I mean, but you see me over here laughing because we got to about 700-800, maybe more.
Yeah.
My nose is really red from my allergies. I look like Rudolph. And we figured we needed. It was bad. We were losing items. We couldn't find stuff. It was so bad. If you go back to my really cringy, like very first few videos I ever did, I talked about it because I was trying to tell people, please don't do this. Don't do what we did. Last January in 2018, I took 2 full weeks of not listing or doing anything else and had to go through and categorize and implement our system, which is a lot like Megan Mawhinney's now. That's got numbers on it.
Yeah.
Each bin has 1 through 25 or whatever.
Yep.
But we had so much stuff already listed. It took 2 full weeks, like not the weekends, but Monday through Friday. And Keith would just pull down bins for me before he left for work because I can't lift them. And I would just sit in my chair and just pull out item after item. And I'd have to go to eBay and mark its new location, put it. Oh my gosh, it took 2
It was awful.
And if we had done it from the beginning, it never would have been an issue. But
I know. And I had to do the same thing. I was at like probably 600 items when I had to do that. So now I feel like I need to, I feel like because of errors that maybe I am still making, but I'm still making, I know I still make errors. I have to go, and I'm waiting for summer slowdown to start. And thank God, fingers crossed, my summer slowdown hasn't started yet, because I've got so many nice items that, you know, I've recently gotten. But I need to go and get my bins, and I need to go 1 for 1, the clothing and make sure that it's listed on eBay, because I feel like some of the items, whether it happened when it was either relisted, oh, there's Boston, like my Australian Shepherd, whether when it was relisted or, I don't know. I just feel like I have items in my bins that are not on eBay.
They fall off. They absolutely 1,000%.
Do they fall off? Sure.
Yeah, we have, I'm going to tell you, we have A through Z, and then A1 through AO, B1 through BO, so that's 10, 20, and then C1 through CO and D, 40
Yeah.
to 26. We have 66 bins of clothing.
Yep.
And every chance I get. So if I have a day where I finished work early and I have a little bit of time in the evening, I will just have Keith bring me down the next one. I keep a little Post-it note on my desk of which the last one I did was F.
And you go through them.
And every time I have a little bit of time in the evening, I'll go through one. I try to do 2 every weekend. And I just go all the way from A all the way down to D0, and I start over again. And it's just like a constant process. Some weeks I can get through 4, some weeks I don't get any, some weeks I get 2 or 1.
Yeah.
But always I find stuff that's not listed. It falls off. I don't know how or why.
I know.
There's little fairies that steal your listings. I swear to God.
You know, I go through, like, every morning I go through my my listings, and I'll mark things down, $1 here, $1 there. I'll change the title, whatever, just to freshen them up. And then, you know, sometimes an item will get misplaced, and I'll go through the bins and I'll come across an article of clothing and I'll be like, I haven't seen this listed on eBay. Like, I need to check and see if this is, you know, still listed. Like, you know, because even though I have 1,900 items listed in my eBay store, I don't know how I retain all of that information in my head, but like, I pretty much know, like, my inventory, 1,900 items. It's weird, but I just know it. And every once in a while I'll come across something that, yeah, so I need to do that. I need to do what you're doing. I've never done it. But I need to start doing it maybe once a week, pull out a bin and go through it one per one and check and make sure that it's on eBay.
After I implemented that last January, our system, I do that just whenever I have a spare moment. And we also have shelves up there, like you have your shelves for our hard goods and our coffee mugs and such. And every once in a while I'll peek through there and hey, and we have like 1,900 items also. And I'll be like, wait a minute, I haven't seen this coffee mug. Or I haven't seen this board game or these Legos. What's going on? But I'm always, no matter how diligent I am, always finding things that fell off, that are no longer listed.
Do you think that they fall off, or do you think that it's from errors that we make from maybe like relisting them or ending the item by accident, or?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it happens. But
yeah, we both just said, I don't know. I mean, if it was my error, I would admit it.
Yeah, I don't know how it happens, but I know it exists. I know it's a real problem, and I need to address it.
Yeah, things just the folks at home watching us don't know this, but Donatella and I spoke on the phone this morning, and I told you on the phone. Keith and I still screw up every day. We make mistakes because at the end of the day, we're all human and we're fallible. And no matter how long you've been doing this, you're going to make mistakes. And if I knew I was doing something wrong, I would be the first one to admit it and be like, darn it, I made a mistake. Let me fix it. But I can't pinpoint what's happening or why it's happening. But it does happen. And I think everyone can say it's like the missing socks in the dryer. It is a real thing, but we don't know why.
Right, exactly. No kidding. And then
go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say the other thing too that drives me crazy is when I find duplicate listings or something sells and I remember that it sold like 2 months ago and I have to explain to the customer that somehow the item was relisted and it shouldn't have been relisted. And knock on wood, I've always had really good customers that have said to me, that's okay, cancel the order so that I don't get a defect on my account. But And that's another error that I'm still doing after a year and a half.
That one's not you either, I don't think. Let me say thank you real quick for the super chat that came in. Thank you so much, Dan, for the $1.99 super chat. He says Dancing Hippo break. Unfortunately, the Dancing Hippo only comes in when I have the third-party software, which YouTube does not let you do when you have a guest. So we won't see the Dancing Hippo. But Hannah says thank you and doing a little jig for you. So thank you. No, I wanted to say I have a link and I'll give it to you if you remind me. I'll send it to you on Facebook. I have a link that goes through your store and checks for duplicate listings.
Yeah, I have it. I have it.
From Casey?
From Casey? No, somebody sent it to me.
He did a whole video once about, because he found all these duplicate listings.
Send it to me anyways, or even put it in the chat so everybody has it. But that would be great.
I'll put it in my Facebook group. How about that?
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Facebook group. But it takes like 2 seconds literally to check. So I'm in the habit now. It's one of my morning processes, one of my morning routines that I do. I just check every morning. But the things that have already sold that relist themselves, that is a real thing too. That happens. And I can tell you 1000% it happened before we ever cross-posted. So that's not the problem. We had a Harry Potter t-shirt last year that sold 4 times.
Oh my God.
It somehow relisted itself 3 times. And I wasn't relisting it. It was in the solds. So it wasn't like it was sitting in the unsolds and accidentally getting relisted. Which is what happens when you cross post. You end it on eBay if it sells on Poshmark. And then you end listings and you go to, you accidentally list it.
Yeah.
We sold the same Harry Potter shirt 4 times. And I was like, okay, I'm not relisting this. I don't know how this is happening.
Just so that your viewers know that if you call eBay and you do have an item that has sold and it had already sold before, and you tell them that, basically you don't know how this item got relisted, that they will support you and they'll say that, sometimes it is an eBay glitch. Mm-hmm. That they get relisted.
And what you can do, what we do, and I just posted this in the group on a thread somewhere. We just write, we're very vague. We don't feel like we need to, you guys know that I'm all about no emotions, not being personable, and just being very business-like, cookie cutter with buyers. So I don't feel like you need to explain yourself. We just write them and say, thank you for your recent purchase. Unfortunately, this item was listed in error. We are prepared to offer you a replacement item. You can choose anything in our store up to, and we'll offer like $5 or $10 more expensive than what they bought. And then the next paragraph will say, alternatively, if you just want a refund, we can cancel your order and give you your money back. 9 times out of 10, they write you back and say, please just cancel and refund, and they're not mad. And you can then do buyer requested because you gave them the choice between choosing a new item and canceling. And they chose to cancel. And then that one time they'll go through the store and they'll pick something else out. And then you just end it and you mail that with the label on the item
that you are missing or has sold.
Yeah.
That's very different.
Are never mad at us. They're always happy. Yeah. And one guy picked out another shirt to replace the shirt, and then he bought 3 more shirts on top of that.
Oh, that's great. I think I remember when you got all 4 of those shirts in a one rate.
Yeah, envelope. They went in a padded flat, and I did the video, and Keith.
I think I remember.
Yeah. Fight.
Yeah. That's very different than my approach. My message is usually, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I've looked for hours and hours. I can't find this shirt. Maybe it was sold. Maybe it was reposted. I have a very different approach than you do.
Yeah, I'm just like,
they must read my message and be like, oh my God, this poor woman, she's like a lunatic. Like, you can just cancel the order. Everything's fine. Everything's going to be okay. My message is like that.
We had one time where it backfired. The guy accused us of a bait and switch. He bought a Dockers something or other on a 99-cent auction. It had $8 shipping on it. He was accusing us of teasing him in on a 99-cent Docker item and then offering him $20 to spend in our store. Like Dockers is not exciting. It's not a great brand. I don't know what the heck he was thinking about bait and switch.
I know.
I was just really professional with him. I said, listen, it's a glitch. It happens. It is out of our control. And he said, well, I've been on eBay for 30 years. You explain to me how this glitch works. And I wrote back and said, believe me, if I knew how the glitch worked, I would fix it and it wouldn't happen. And we wouldn't be having this issue. And I said, do you want your money back or are you choosing something new? And he just wanted to be an argumentative person.
Just like that.
Yeah. And then he threatened negative feedback, of course, because they always do that. Because I don't really give a shit. Sorry, I just swore. I don't. I have 100%. I have volume going in and out every day. One negative is not going to kill me, but they think that it's going to. But then a day went by, and he messaged us and said, he said, I have to eat my words and apologize. I'm very, very sorry. I just had something sell that I know sold already. So I guess glitches do exist. And I just really believe that they didn't. He's like, I didn't believe you. I honestly didn't think there was such a thing as glitches. He's like, but it just happened to me and that must be karma. I'm so sorry. Just refund my money and I'll leave you a positive feedback.
Wow. Imagine that.
Yeah. So he's sitting there going, glitches aren't real. You're a liar. And then it happened to him.
That's crazy.
All right, we're going to go into the trivia now, guys and lady. So this is the way it goes. I have 10 questions of my own that I came up with to ask her. They're a mix of things that are centric to Donatella. And then I have a bonus question from Keith. You can play along in the chat. If you know the answers, throw them out there. That way if she gets stumped, it's like her lifeline. She can cheat a little bit.
And I don't see the chat, so if you guys know the answer, I'm horrible at trivia, horrible. So I'll do my best.
Your first one's easy. What's the capital of Florida?
Tallahassee?
Yep.
Oh.
All right. When is the official hurricane season in Florida?
So it starts in, wait a minute, I know this. It goes through December. And it just started. It starts in maybe May.
You're close. It's June 1st.
Okay.
November 30th.
Okay. Well, I was close.
Yeah, you're close. All right. So number 3, do you know what the biggest crop in Florida is?
The biggest what?
Crop.
Crop?
Crop, like things farmers grow.
Oh, crop. The biggest crop in Florida. Now, I want to say oranges.
No, it's not.
It's not?
I thought it was too, and I Googled it to be sure.
What is it?
Did you know that Florida leads the nation in sugarcane?
Oh, sugar cane. Oh, yes. Big problem down here in the Okeechobee River with sugar cane. The sugar cane factories dumping all of their sugar cane.
I didn't know that. I honestly didn't.
Yeah.
All right. So the next question has 10 answers. You just give me as many as you can come up with.
Okay.
I Googled what are 10 Italian meals in America that aren't really Italian? And I got the top 10.
10 Italian meals that are really not Italian.
Like Americans eat them, so we call them Italian, but they're not.
Okay.
Better late than never. Hi, Colleen.
God, I don't know. I can't. Give me one.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Spaghetti and meatballs is Italian.
Mm-hmm. They say in Italy they only eat the meatballs. The Americans added the noodles.
I guess it depends on different regions of Italy. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I really don't know. I would love to hear the rest of them. I really don't know.
Well, Dan got one right. Pizza is not really Italian.
Pizza is so Italian, especially in Sicily. Oh my gosh. Okay, go ahead.
And then they said marinara sauce because in Italy, what's considered marinara sauce is more of a seafood base than a red sauce like we do.
Yeah.
Fettuccine Alfredo.
Fettuccine Alfredo is so Italian.
Is
I don't know
it?
where you. Yes.
I swear I went to 3 different websites and got the same 10 answers.
You know, I was born in Italy.
Right, I know. That's why
Yes.
I asked this question.
Yes.
They said
Fettuccine
garlic bread
Alfredo.
because it's in Italy it's called bruschetta.
Bruschetta. Yeah.
Bruschetta.
Bruschetta. Yeah.
Yeah, and ours is more like just bread.
Right.
Colleen got chicken parm correct.
Oh, chicken parm. Yeah, that's not Italian. That's American.
Shrimp scampi.
Shrimp scampi is probably American also. Yes.
Caesar salad.
Yeah, that's not Italian at all.
That was created in Mexico from what they said on the
Yeah, no, that's not Italian.
Italian dressing.
Yeah, no, that's not Italian either for sure. It doesn't exist.
Rainbow cookies.
Rainbow cookies? Probably not. No. A lot of the Italian desserts that you see in this country do not exist in Italy for sure.
So those are the 10. The only thing I can say about the spaghetti meatballs is they said that the way we make it here isn't correct. And the fettuccine Alfredo has a different name or something.
I don't know. I know it as fettuccine Alfredo, so I don't know. But you know,
my gosh, Casey, you're here on your angry driver's attacks account.
Is Casey in the chat?
Yes.
I'm watching it. I watch his angry driver videos.
Yeah, he's.
I was watching it the other night when he was like, there was a woman giving him a hard time, like videotaping him or something, and my husband was in the kitchen, and my husband was like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, it's just Casey."
Oh my gosh, here he is on his correct account on the Rockstar. Is tiramisu an authentic Italian dessert?
Tiramisu is very Italian.
Okay.
Tiramisu, what that means in Italian, tira means to lift, misu up. So tiramisu is to lift me up, and tiramisu is made with espresso. So it's got a lot of caffeine in it.
Right.
So that's why they call it tiramisu, is because it means lift me up.
Yeah, I knew you were born in Italy, so I have a couple cooking and Italy food questions on here. Yours were really fun to look up, by the way. I learned some stuff about food.
I'm going to do some more cooking videos because I really love to cook, and I really love to cook like quick, like 15, 20-minute meals, but homemade meals, you know, that I can just whip up.
Yeah,
I'm so busy all the time.
You did a cooking video recently, and on Saturday when I wasn't feeling good, I was
lentil soup.
I was laying on my heating pad and I watched that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to make that. It looks so
good. And you know what? The longer it sits, the lentil soup, and those little packets that I used from Trader Joe's, I've never used those before. They were actually really, really good. But the longer lentil soup sits, the better it is for you. And when the children were little, I used to put that in the blender and whip it up and feed it to them as baby food. And it had just, you know, carrots and celery and potatoes and the lentil, which is a great source of protein, and chicken stock.
Good. It looked so good. And you did it, I have to tell you, you did it the correct way. I watch a lot of, for those of you that don't know, there's more to me than serial killers, horror movies, and true crime. I do love the cooking shows. And they always say start with your aromatics, even with soup. They put oil, the garlic, the onion, all the aromatics go in first and fry oil before you add your broth in your soup. And when I watched you do it, I'm like, she's doing it right, just like you're supposed to.
And it's also really important to add water, like let it come to a boil and then add water. Let it come to a boil and then add water. For some reason, it just makes a really big difference when you're making a pot of soup. Just to keep adding the water as it comes to a boil. Don't just add all the water at once and let it come to a boil. For some reason, it's just not the same.
I do most of my soups in the crock pot, so I don't.
And I don't know how to cook in a crock pot.
I actually don't do the aromatics first, and I do add all the water and the broth. But I make it the night before so everything gets to sit and marinate and mix, and then it cooks all day. So it still tastes as good as on the stovetop. Casey says hi, and he loves you, ladies.
Oh,
I assume it's both of us. Oh,
yay! Mwah. You know what? I got Casey. I learned so much from Casey. I
yeah.
used to watch Casey all the time.
He's
His I don't know, his videos have changed a little bit, but he used to do, a lot of like really informational. I guess you get bored, doing the same old kind of stuff, and people have been following you and whatever. But Casey, thank you, because I learned a lot from you, a lot. So thank you for that.
He's okay.
Are you ready for your questions?
No, because we're not even done with yours.
Oh, okay.
I'm on number 5.
Oh gosh, okay.
Should you put oil in the water for pasta?
I put a little tiny bit of oil, yes, depending on the pasta. Mostly spaghetti. I put a little tiny bit of oil in it.
That seems to be a point of contention. It seems like some cooks say you should and some say you shouldn't. The ones that say you shouldn't, from what I read, it says it keeps the sauce from sticking to the noodles later. But I add salt and oil, so who knows?
Well, I don't cook noodles, so that's probably why mine doesn't stick. I cook pasta.
Look at her getting all specific.
Noodles are, I don't know, what are noodles? Noodles are the things that you put in a swimming pool to float on under your knees and behind your arms and under your knees when you're floating in a swimming pool. Those are noodles.
Or noodles are those we're getting.
Who was that?
That's my son, my 15-year-old.
Oh, you should have stopped in and said hello.
I think he just was trying to get by as quick as he could. Or noodles are like the top ramen 10-cent package deals, right?
Oh yeah, maybe those are noodles too.
All right, number 6. Where was pizza invented?
Pizza, Prince Pizza. I don't know. Leaning Tower of Pizza. I don't know. Where was pizza invented? I think it was like China or something, wasn't it?
It was
somewhere
Naples.
Weird. And then the Italians modified it. Was it China?
No, it was Naples.
Oh, Naples. All right. Sorry.
Number 7. Where were
I'm
noodles?
Italian. I am.
Where were noodles invented?
Pool noodles or
Pasta.
Pasta.
The pasta.
I don't know.
That one is China.
Where?
China.
In China.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, isn't that funny?
Pasta was China. Okay, number 8. Was Storage Wars staged?
Yes.
Absolutely. And I have a little bit I want to tell you that I learned. David Hester, who used to work on the show, his name's David Hester. I never watched it. I just Googled. Anyway, he is currently suing the show. He was fired after he alleged that he felt the things they were doing were immoral and he didn't want to be a part of it anymore. So they fired him. And now he is suing them. And he says that producers regularly plant, and I quote, valuable items or memorabilia in the storage units on the show, and have even gone so far as to stage entire storage units. He says,
isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah, he says the show gets this memorabilia and their antiques from a company called Off the Wall Antiques, which they also regularly featured in the series, and then they put these items in the units. Hester says he was fired from his job on the show after he voiced his concerns and said he didn't want to be a part of the staging anymore.
My husband was just telling me about this like a week ago. He must have been reading an article or something about it, because he was just telling me, because we used to watch that show all the time. And
I never did. I think I watched 30 seconds and I said, this is BS. There's no way.
Well, we used to watch it because I used to buy storage units up in Massachusetts. So when that show came out, it intrigued us, so we used to watch it,
All right, I'm going to go to the next question. You guys hold your questions back until the end. I still got one more round with her, and she's got questions from me. And then we'll get to you guys, okay? Number 9, what is the fear of monkeys called?
The fear of monkeys?
Yep.
I didn't know there was one.
Yes, there's a phobia for everything.
Oh God, don't even tell me. I still have like 300 of them in my house.
Okay, I have to be very careful of how I pronounce this. I actually had to go to YouTube and listen to somebody say it.
Okay.
Pithecophobia.
What is it?
Pithecophobia.
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 That's weird.
That is the fear of monkeys and apes.
That's weird.
If it's called pithecophobia, if you're afraid of a monkey, then what is apophobia? What is that the fear of? That's your 10th question.
I have no idea.
Apophobia is the fear of bees.
Bees?
Bees. Okay, you ready for your bonus question from Keith? You're not even going to know.
Are you kidding me? Keith, are you serious? I told Star this morning, I'm like, I can't even with Keith's questions because I don't even understand them. I don't even know what you're saying. All right, go ahead.
Who is the ruler of Latveria?
What does that mean? What does that mean? Say it again.
Who is the ruler of Latveria?
I don't even know what those words mean.
It's a Marvel thing.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Dr. Doom.
Oh, did somebody get it?
No, I just gave it out because I'm not
Okay.
All right, so we're going to move on to the this or that round. There's 3 rules to this round. 1, you have to pick something. So you can't say neither and you can't say both.
Okay.
And I want you to go with your gut instinct. Like, we want to go fast and I want you to just pick something. Ready?
Got it. Yep.
Pasta with red sauce or white sauce?
Red.
Biscotti or cannoli?
Biscotti.
Crock pot or stovetop?
Stovetop.
Bake or cook?
Cook.
Phone call or text?
Phone call.
Beach or poolside?
Beach.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Storage unit or thrift store?
Storage units. Woo!
Fall or spring?
What is it?
Fall, autumn, or spring?
I miss fall.
Jeans or yoga pants?
Yoga pants.
And that's funny because of the conversation we had.
Isn't that funny? We were just talking about that.
We started talking about that. I'm like, oh my
you
God,
must have been like laughing at yourself when I was talking about that to you.
I was. I'm like, I can't believe I put that in there.
That is so funny.
Keith is Batman or Iron Man?
Batman.
And this one's from my son. Remy, the little rat in Ratatouille, versus Stuart Little in a gladiator fight. Which mouse would win?
Stuart Little.
Okay.
That's cute.
I know. He said, I'm like, I have to ask her that because that's just too cute.
That's so cute.
I picked Ratatouille because I think a lot of chefs have mad knife skills.
Yeah, but Stuart Little is so sweet. He would talk him out of it.
Aww.
He would.
Aww. All right, I'm totally ready for my questions now.
Okay, ready? So, what is the most interesting thing you ever sold, and how did you source it?
I don't know. I don't feel like we get anything interesting. I'm racking my brain. I like, okay, jeans.
Stumped you, Star? Ooh. Stumped you, Star.
I feel like where we live, we source all the same stuff over and over again. You know what? It was probably, I had a little Betty Boop figurine. She was riding a motorcycle with lingerie on, like little fishnet thigh highs.
Yeah.
And her little red dress. And she was riding a motorcycle. It was this little tiny figurine, not that big at all. And it had glitter on it. It was sparkly. And I actually was at a yard sale, and she had a new with tags. I think it was a Hilfiger wallet. And I had that in my hand, and I was going to get that. And I picked up Betty Boop, and I was checking her out. And the lady actually said, you know what? You can just take Betty Boop with you for free because you're the only one that's shown interest in her all day. No one has even looked at her. And she's like, she needs a new home, so you can just take her because no one else wanted her.
People
So I got
love
her
Betty
home,
Boop.
and I comped her. She sold for $25 overnight.
I know. People love Betty Boop. That's a bolo. Betty Boop is
Yes.
definitely a bolo.
She
That's
is.
awesome.
That was how I learned she's a bolo, by the way.
Okay, here's your next question. Is there an item that you sold but you regret selling?
Yes.
What is it?
I sold a Stephen King Gunslinger graphic novel that I really wish I would have kept.
Oh.
I know. It was a Stephen King graphic novel and I sold it. Why didn't I keep it?
Oh. You know, I sold a 5-foot tall Woody from Toy Story that I bought for Massimo and Denali when they were born. They were babies, and I bought it on eBay for $400 because they used to watch Toy Story all the time. And I've been lugging this thing around with me for 19 years, brand new in the box. I never even took it out of the box because I didn't want them to touch it. I bought it just to have it. And we moved 9 times, like in like a 15-year span. And so I finally sold it and I regret selling it. I wish I kept it. Yeah. Anyways.
I had cut my graphic novel.
Yeah. 5-foot tall Woody. What was I going to do with it? I never even displayed it in their bedrooms when they were babies. You know, I didn't want them touching it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I was like the Italian woman with the plastic on the couches. Don't touch the Woody. It's staying in the box. You can look at it through the plastic. Okay. So your next question is, what is the best advice you ever received from another experienced reseller?
I have to say the best experience I ever received was from Casey.
Yeah.
And it was our first video chat with him back when he first opened his VIP group, and you got the VIP chat or the FaceTime as part of your group membership. We had a bunch of crap in our store. It wasn't necessarily bad items. They were just like shot glasses and low-end items. And he explained to us, and now I actually give this advice out to other people. If you have stuff like that in your store that's bringing traffic in and you're getting those impressions, but you're not getting the conversions, meaning people are straggling in to look at your stuff, but nobody's buying it.
Yes.
It can drag your metrics down and actually hurt you with Cassini and the search algorithm. So he suggested that, he says, you're not going to like this because you guys we were almost at 3,000 listings. We were trying to get an anchor store. He said, there's like 300 things you could just drop out of your store. Your listings are going to go down, and then some of them you can lot back up and put back in, and you'll get the conversion. People will buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to, but we did. We dropped like 400 items actually, and our sales almost doubled overnight. Like it was amazing. It was like an immediate, oh my God, he was right. Something was dragging us down. We weren't being seen, or Cassini didn't like us because of this. And then over time, we started going through that stuff that we took out, donated some of it back that was absolute crap, and lotted some of it up and put it back in like he said to, at the prices he said to, with shipping on it. And those sold. Like things that had been sitting around for months that we lotted up sold within a month. And
that's great.
Increased. And that is the best thing. And it always stuck with me because it was so immediate and so quick to fix an issue that we didn't even know we had.
Yeah.
And now I tell other people that just be wary of that you don't have stuff that brings looky-loos, but no buys, right? Because it will hurt you.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. So question number 4. If you could have any job in the world, what would it be?
I would be an author.
You would be an author?
I would write books, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. I have something that needs to be written. I'm going to reach out to you this week and see if you'll write it for me if you love to write, because now it makes sense to me because you are so good at writing.
I actually was a freelance writer for 4 years, and I wrote short stories, and I am published. Don't tell anybody.
Okay. All right. Here's your question number 5. Who is the original singer to this song? Ready?
Mm-hmm. I don't hear it anymore, but that was I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas, and it was Shirley Temple, wasn't it? Are you still there?
Yeah.
Is it Shirley Temple?
She wants a hippopotamus for Christmas. You hear it? I don't know where the microphone
Yeah,
is.
I don't hear it, but I heard enough to know what song it was. And my guess
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
yes. And it was Shirley Temple, right? I was right.
Did you say it right?
I did. I can't hear it.
You said Shirley Temple.
I did.
It's not Shirley Temple.
Oh.
It's Gail Peavy.
Oh.
I thought maybe that should be your theme song. I don't know if it's allowed on YouTube, but watch, this whole thread will be taken down because I just played that song.
No, I couldn't even hear it. So.
Oh, you couldn't?
I heard it start and then I couldn't hear it anymore.
Oh well.
So that's fine. All right, guys. We if you have questions for me or for her about storage units, reselling, life in general, hippopotamuses, throw them up in the chat now
yoga,
or forever hold your
yoga
food.
Pants.
About yoga pants.
Yoga pants.
Pasta. You have any questions about pasta?
Pasta.
Go ahead and throw them up in the chat. And while we wait for a couple questions to come in, I'm going to do a couple plugs real quick. Donatella does have a Facebook group that's all for and about people who do storage units, and you don't even have to do storage units to be in there. I'm in there. I lurk. I learn. Link is in the description box. Go ahead and join her Facebook group. She's trying to grow it. And there's a lot of good information in there. You put in videos of you at your storage units, like going through the stuff. Mm-hmm. She does her auctions in there. She did one, but you're going to do more.
I hope to do more.
Yeah. So she does auctions in there. She shows you her hauls and just, you know, her life as a storage unit hunter. Hunter, is that the right word? A storage unit hunter?
That's fine.
And I also have in the description box down below the link to her YouTube channel and her Instagram. So go ahead and go over and subscribe to her.
Thank you, Star.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm calling myself Peter Pan these days because I'm kind of taking from the poor and taking from the rich and giving to the poor, because I've gone back to do some charity work, and it feels really good to be back doing charity work. Like one of my videos, I just recently went up to Children's Hospital and donated a whole bunch of NASCARs, and oh my gosh, I was so excited to do that. So it feels good to be back doing charity work. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. I love it. It keeps me going doing that.
Yeah. So the chat's not moving. I don't know if we ran them off.
It must have been that music I was playing.
We ran them all off, but no. Go ahead. Like I said, everything's in the description box. If you do anything tonight, subscribe to her YouTube channel. We want her to grow to 1,000. We want to get her monetized. Most of us that do YouTube don't do it for the money. We do it because we love to do it, but it does take time out of our day that we could be reselling. So it is nice when you get monetized so that you're at least getting a little bit back for the time that you put in for creating content and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I'm still here. Holly wants to know what originally got you into buying storage units.
I was intrigued by it. Like I said, like back 19 years ago, I was just really intrigued by it. I don't remember why I bought a storage unit or where I saw. I mean, back then it had to have been in the newspaper because, I think we had like Nextel phones back then. I don't even. I know we had the internet, but yeah, I don't know. But anyways, I did it a really long time ago, and then I raised my family. And then I had the thrift shop for 5 years, and then I just decided to go back I started watching some YouTubers that were doing it. I mean, well, Wade, number one, he started doing it, and I'm like, gosh, I want to go back to doing it too. So there was Wade, and there was the Storage Pirate I started watching, and there's like a whole other like bunch of YouTubers that all they do is storage units, and I follow all of them too. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I started running out of merchandise after I had a debt that was associated with closing the store, and I had some of the merchandise from the store to pay off the debt, and I started selling that stuff, and it started to dwindle down. So I started sourcing a little bit at thrift stores and such, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna like go buy storage units and get a whole bunch of stuff for $160. So that's how I started doing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Stark Raven Wild says, how long are you guys going to thrift, and will you ever retire? I'll answer first, and then I'll let you answer.
Go ahead.
Geez, probably forever. I mean, this job, I'm my own boss.
Yep.
I make my own hours. I make my limitations. If my back is hurting and I can't work today, I get to call in and not get fired or get a ding. I don't get like 3 call-offs and then fired.
Yep.
If I want to go to eBay Open, I go to eBay Open. If I want to go to Florida for Halloween, I go to Florida for Halloween, and I don't have to ask anybody's permission.
Yes.
I sleep in. I stay up late. I can't see me like, well, physically, I don't think I can ever go back to a real job. Quote unquote real. This is a real job. But just the freedoms. I don't think, I mean, if we fell into something or something happened to where we made like millions of dollars at this, which you don't do, by the way, people, maybe I would retire and go live on the beach in Florida somewhere and write a book. But as long as I have to work to eat and pay our bills, this is it for me.
Yep.
How about you?
Yeah, ditto to everything that you said. I agree with you 100%. Everything that you said, I agree with. And I want to add to that. I think that the nice part about selling on eBay is that you can do it into your senior citizen years. I mean, go to thrift shops. I mean, on Wednesdays, it's all senior citizens. It's senior citizen discount day. So it's so easy to take pictures and post and be able to have that little bit of residual income coming in along with your pension or Social Security or whatever else you're getting as a senior citizen. So I will do this. I will do this forever. And even my husband will say to me, oh, even if we had millions of dollars, you'd still want to go. I love picking up like an old, like vintage evening bag and thinking about like the person that carried this like in the 30s or the 40s. And I imagine, you know, like I love that. I mean, I don't keep them. I do have a beautiful collection though that I have kept throughout the years of evening bags. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. Some of them are absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I love it. I love it. I love looking, like I said, my favorite thing is old vintage stuff. And I love touching them and looking at them and I love selling them. And yeah, I get the thrill out of it.
Because I'm glad I'm not alone. I like, even if it's not vintage, I make up stories in my head, and that's probably the writer in me.
Yeah.
But I make up stories for everything that we source. I think about who owned it before me, especially like if I go to the bins and say like they have an entire bin full of frogs. Well, I start to think somebody collected frogs, and what happened to her? Did she die? Did she divorce her husband and she's running all over and selling everything? Like, I just like create these people in my head and who they were and how their stuff ended up with me.
Yeah. Well, I've started doing that with my storage unit videos on YouTube. Like, you can really profile a person, Star, by the stuff that's in the unit. You know, like you can tell, like one of the units that I bought was a homeless woman's unit and she was a prostitute. Clearly by the things that were in there.
Wow.
And I show them in the video. I show the things that are in there that you know she was a prostitute. This woman was clearly a prostitute and a street person, you know. And then one storage unit I bought, the woman, she was beautiful and her daughter was beautiful. And we found a pocketbook, and inside the pocketbook was a business card that said something about abusive advocate, like a woman that helped people that were in abusive relationships. Mm-hmm. So, you know, she was probably having troubles with, you know, her husband, who was in a lot of the pictures. And, just, you know, I profile people. A lot of the times it's really sad, Star.
Oh yeah.
It's sad getting somebody's storage unit.
It is. And it's sad when you see an entire collection of something at the bins. Like you can tell it's somebody's entire life and this one.
Yeah, like the last one that I got, all that
Yeah.
NASCAR and all that Harley Davidson
Yeah.
and all
But you
those
can.
concert
You
tees.
can absolutely profile them.
Which,
And
by the way, I just sold 2 more concert tees while we've been on the phone.
hey, cool. That's
While
awesome.
we've been on YouTube. Yeah.
I was gonna say another fun fact. When I was little, little teenager, whatever. If I was gonna grow up and be a best-selling New York Times best-selling author, but if I didn't do that, I was gonna be an FBI profiler and profile serial killers.
Oh gosh. Right?
That's what I wanted to do with my life.
Yeah.
And now I do this. Now I make
Now
up
you do this.
stories in my own head and.
Oh, you'd have a field day profiling some of the storage units that I buy. I mean, some of them are really crazy. Like I bought one storage unit, you could just tell that the mom got fed up with her son, who was probably like I think his license or an ID that I found, he was like 22 or 23 years old. She grabbed all his things out of his bedroom and went and got a storage unit and dumped everything into the storage unit. His entire contents of his bedroom. And you could tell she just like dumped it all in there. His video games, his gaming consoles, his clothes, his everything. She threw him out. Whether it was a mom or a girlfriend, someone threw somebody out. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's sad.
I know.
Or maybe it was a wife. Maybe she found out he had an affair. See, I always go to nefarious places.
I don't know.
My stories always go to these nefarious places like, oh, they were murdered. He was a serial killer and he had to leave town.
Oh, the hooker one that I bought, the hooker storage unit that I bought, she was going back to jail. And she had written her son, who was incarcerated, an apology for not being in touch with him for years because she was incarcerated and couldn't find him. And then she found him. He was incarcerated. She never mailed the letter. And the letter said, I'm going back to jail.
Oh, that's terrible. That sounds like some SVU shit stuff.
It's crazy. We were out to dinner one night and my husband said to friends of ours, he said, yeah, my wife is now capitalizing on people's misfortunes.
Well,
I was like, that was so mean. Why would you just say that?
But you know, like Keith and I talked about this before. The thing with storage units that I don't understand, and I probably never will understand, those of you that like Jason and you and Wade that are finding really good stuff in there that's worth a lot of money. If I was falling on hard times, if I couldn't pay my mortgage, if I couldn't afford to pay my storage unit, and I had that kind of stuff in there, why aren't these people getting the stuff out and selling it themselves to pay for the storage unit and their mortgage and everything else? They have valuable stuff in there and they just...
Exactly. Okay, so this last storage unit that I bought, the rental on the storage unit was $360 a month. And you have to be 3 months behind before you lose a storage unit, 3 months in arrears. And on top of the 300 in arrears, there's a some of them do like 50, some of them do $75 late fees. So $365 a month times 3 months, plus let's just go on the high side and $75 a month on top of that, whatever that math is, okay? Then they charge you to cut their lock off or change their lock, and then they charge you like an extra $30 or $40 to like replace the lock. So these people needed to come up this last storage unit that I bought. I mean, if you do the math, probably $1,600. And if they're down on their luck and have borrowed money from every Tom, Dick, and Harry that you can think of, if they can't get $1,500, what are they going to do?
I guess I just still think that there's maybe with the t-shirts and the NASCAR, not so much, but
Jason's unit with all that gold and silver, that was crazy.
Silver and the comic books, you have to be
that was crazy.
You can't sell that to pay your rent.
And that's not Storage Wars. Like, we watched him do that. I mean, he's like, straight up guy. And the same with, with Wade, it's.
Yeah. But maybe they died.
Maybe he died. No, yeah. So he knew the story behind that one. because he revealed some of it, and someone said, you better be careful what you say. It was somebody's daughter, some famous person that owned it in one of the videos, one of the series. I don't know, whatever it was. But yeah, you wonder why people lose mini storages.
You had gold.
I know, lots of gold.
You have to know that would pay your bills. I don't understand. Like,
I know, lots of gold.
Do people just lack that much common sense? Do they just get so stressed out that they don't think straight? I don't know. Or maybe they die. Maybe they're in a nursing home. Maybe a serial killer took them out in the woods and buried them in a hole.
I have no idea. I'm winning on 3 of them for tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. I hope I lose at least 2.
Yeah. We have been on for an hour and a half, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Star.
This was
really appreciate it.
This was our first FaceTime. We usually just talk on the phone. So
I know. That's nice.
So thank you so much for coming on, and everybody that came in tonight, whether you stayed the whole time, popped in to say hello if you were late, just the fact that you showed up and hung out with us and asked questions and participated, it means the world to me. And I say this all the time, but I absolutely mean it, and no one else will ever change my mind. I have the best YouTube subs, hands down.
You what?
I have the best YouTube subs. I have the best subscribers, the best viewers.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Justin always says, RVA flips. He says, I'll fight you for it. I'm like, we have all the same viewers.
Yeah.
Right? You and I share a lot of the same viewers. But
you and I do?
Yeah, we do.
Do we?
We do.
I don't even know how to. Oh, you mean on YouTube or on Facebook?
YouTube.
I don't even know how to tell I don't even know how to see who's joined and who's not joined. There's a way you can tell?
Just from who's in the chat.
Oh, just from the chat. Okay, yeah.
Like when I have a guest on and I see a bunch of new people that I'm not familiar to, I know they brought a lot of their subs with them that are new to me. When I have people that I recognize over here, I'm like, oh, well, we have all the same friends.
Yeah.
And
that's because we were together in the VIP group, and then I was together in your group. I joined your group, so that's how we've become. Some of the friends that I've made from your group are like, I don't even know them, and I feel so close to them. I feel closer to them than I do people that I've known for years and years. You just get so close to online family and this whole reseller community family, don't you? It's awesome.
It's crazy. And there's actually people that I'm close to in real life now. Like Casey.
Yeah.
Keith and I speak to him on the phone every single day. There's not a day that doesn't go by that we don't talk to him. And we go on vacations with him and Sydney and Colleen that are in the chat.
Yeah.
On vacation together. They just become like real friends, like that. Just
real friends.
And I get to see you once or twice a year,
Yeah, I became really good friends with Mike Green, who I met on Casey's VIP group, and then he joined your group, and he lives like an hour. Him and his wife Lynn, they live about an hour, and they came down and we went sourcing together one day. This was before I decided to start doing YouTube videos, and I call him my coworker because we talk every day. Every single day. We talk every day.
Holly's my work wife.
Yeah, see? It's nice, right?
Every single day as well. And Justin and Lance. I don't want to leave anybody out. Bill and David.
And I've been talking with Tony Boss now, a lot, which is really awesome too.
Yeah, him and his wife are both nice.
Yeah,
I've just made these friendships that they're going to be lasting. They're going to be lifelong. They're going to be people that I will go out of my way to visit at least once a year, or if you come visit me, you're welcome into my home. It's just
next time you go to St. Augustine, I'm only 3 hours away from there. So
where are you?
I'm in the Palm Beaches. I'm Palm Beach Gardens, where Trump where Donald Trump has his summer home.
I know he has one. How far is it from Orlando where you live?
From Orlando, I'm 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay, because we are coming to Orlando.
When are you going to Orlando?
We're going to Tampa in October, and then we're going to go to Orlando for Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, God, I hate Orlando. We go to Orlando all the time because that's where my kids play volleyball tournaments.
I've never been to Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
St. Augustine was amazing, but I feel
St. Augustine's great.
But it's something you can only do once. We went on all the ghost tours.
Did you?
And I don't.
Did you visit the jail?
Yeah, we went on every ghost tour that there possibly was. And we went to the jail. We went on the buses. It was great. It was really fun. We did the graveyard walks. We went through all of that stuff. But I think once you've done it once, you really can't sit through the same exact stories over and over and over.
Yeah, not so soon. Not so soon. But like in 3 or 4 years, you'll enjoy it again. Because
it will change a little bit. We went on all the ghost tours. If it was a ghost tour, we went, and it still kind of felt like the same story over and over. But for your first experience, it was really fun.
I love St. Augustine. I love the quaintness of it. It reminds me a lot of Boston, you know, back home where I was raised.
Yeah, I've been to Boston too. I really like it there.
Yeah, I love Boston, but St. Augustine has that kind of old feeling like parts of Boston has. Where I live, it's all brand new. Like everything is sparkling, brand new, everything.
Where I live, yes. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up.
Okay.
Me and you could talk all night. I know that.
I know. Sorry. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody that came in to join us. I really, really appreciate it. Even though I didn't see the chat, I don't know why I can't get the chat thing going. We'll figure it out for next time. Thank you, Star. Thank you for having me on.
Yep.
And I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for coming. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Do please join her Facebook group, follow her on Instagram, and subscribe to her channel. All 3 links are in the description box down below. Just below that is the link to our Facebook group. I encourage you to join that as well if you are looking for a very positive, educational atmosphere that's fun with other resellers. It's a good group. Smash the like button before you leave, guys. It does help the channel if you haven't already. And you'd like to subscribe to our channel and help us feed all of our hungry hippos here in our house. And we are getting more hippos every day. I have to get up and walk over there to turn the live stream off. So I'm going to leave you guys. And if Donatella has like any words of wisdom she wants to leave with you, she can do that. And then when you're ready for me to turn off the live, you can say bye. And I'll know that's my cue.
Okay.
But I do love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, you guys, for coming on, and I feel really special being able to come on to Star's station. And if anybody has any questions, you can always post them in my new group, and I'm willing to always help if anybody has any questions about storage units. And that's it. Bye. Mwah. Thank you. Bye-bye.